Hi everyone. Today we're going to make beefaroni. One day many years ago, I was probably about 10, I went to my dad and said, "Dad, I'd like some beefaroni." Just like the Chef Boyardee stuff. And he says, "Absolutely no problem." Well, I was all excited. A few days later, he says, "Yep, we're making it today." Oh, that's great. Well, we got the homemade version. That's quite all right because over the years, I've come to appreciate it. I have tried the canned stuff. I much prefer this. So here's my family's version of beefaroni. So the first thing we're going to need is some Hamburg. So I've got roughly 2 pounds of ground beef pulled out of the freezer, let it thaw out. And we're going to get that into a frying pan and start cooking that down to start with. A little bit of water helps kind of break it down a bit. You don't need a lot, just a splash. Unless you don't want the end product to be too runny. First vegetable going in is a pepper, just happen to be a red pepper. Now you'll notice there's 4 nubs on the bottom. There's an old wives' tale that apparently isn't true at all, that 3 on the bottom means it's male and 4 means female, and the female pepper is a little sweeter. That's not true, but the way to cut the pepper and not take out the seeds, well, that is a good way of doing it. Flip it upside down and you end up with mostly seeds. So there's our pepper, nice and chopped, about 1.5 cups. Now this is a double batch, so if you're just making a single one, you might want to go to 1/2 to 3/4. And the same with onions. So we're going to chop that down to about the same thing, 1.5 cups. Our ground beef is looking good at this point. So let's dump the peppers in. And the onions. Just like that. And we'll mix all this down. So now's the time we're going to add some spice. About a teaspoon of salt. Likewise with the pepper, and of course this is all to taste. Throw a little extra pepper in. And to that, another teaspoon-ish of garlic powder. If you want the real thing, put that in. Some oregano, teaspoon-ish. And the last thing I threw in was a little bit of basil, about 1/2 teaspoon. Just give it a little extra flavor. And I know that in the sauce we're going to throw in, it's got some of that in it too. That's okay. So this is looking really good. So let's make our noodles. I got a pot of water, brought it to a boil, and I think we're going to put in about 1/2 bag, about 1 pound of macaroni. You can use whatever you want, little shells, spaghetti. I mean, you can really do it however you want, penne. But for this, traditionally, at least in my house, was macaroni. We'll give it a stir because swishing the pot doesn't seem to help not make it stick. I'll give the hamburger a stir. Looking good. We'll turn that off. I think it's cooked down as far as we need it. So to this we're going to add our 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. You can just put straight tomato sauce in if you want, or pick your own kind of sauce. Whatever way you'd like to do it. It's just easier to throw a jar of sauce in. And of course we mix. "12 to 15 minutes, our macaroni's done. This is the only time I don't like it al dente. I actually like it a little more cooked than that. And we'll drain it. And now the trick here is you need a good spoon to mix. But we're going to put that back in the pot. I'm going to put half the noodles in, very carefully. And then half of our meat mixture. Also very carefully. And if you want to throw a little bit of spice, some pepper flakes or whatever, now's the time to do it. Put some in the middle before you mix. And the other half of the noodles, in they go. And let's get the last of the sauce mixture into the pot. It's looking good. Now really all we got to do is mix her all together. Make sure it's nice and combined. You want a good spoon for this. Don't grab your Dollarama spoon because they're usually pretty flexible, and you want something with a little more strength than that. So we'll give it a mix just to make sure that all the spaghetti actually gets incorporated, especially down at the bottom, because the last thing you want is it not mixed at the bottom. So here we go. Top it off with a little bit of parmesan, and that is my family's beefaroni. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you learned something and you'll try this dish. If you do, leave me a comment below. Give me a thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell while you're at it. That'll tell you the next time I upload a video. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.